In this April 4, 2018, file photo protesters calling for the indictment of the two Sacramento police officers who shot and killed Stephen Clark as they responded to a vandalism report march through downtown Sacramento, Calif. The shooting death of Clark helped spur the passage of two laws to take effect in 2020, giving California one of the nation's most comprehensive approaches to deterring shootings by policy. In this April 4, 2018, file photo protesters calling for the indictment of the two Sacramento police officers who shot and killed Stephen Clark as they responded to a vandalism report march through downtown Sacramento, Calif. The shooting death of Clark helped spur the passage of two laws to take effect in 2020, giving California one of the nation's most comprehensive approaches to deterring shootings by police. Another new California law increases officers' training on handling confrontations. Another new California law increases officers' training on handling confrontations. The changes come after Sacramento police in 2018 fatally shot Stafford Clark, a 22-year-old black vandalism suspect, leading to major protests. Vaccinations. A new California law will create greater state oversight of doctors who write medical exceptions for school children's vaccinations. The law generated passionate legislative debate and drew hundreds of supporters and opponents to the Capitol this past year. It will allow the state to investigate doctors who grant more than 5 medical exceptions in a year at schools with vaccination rates under 95%, the threshold that experts say means a population is resistant to a disease such as measles. The law will phase out existing medical exemption over the coming year. A new California law will create greater state oversight of doctors who write medical exemptions for schools children's vaccinations. The law generated passionate legislative debate and drew hundreds of supporters and opponents to the Capitol this past year. It will allow the state to investigate doctors who granted more than 5 medical exemptions in a year at schools with vaccination rates under 95%, the threshold that experts say means a population is resistant to a disease such as measles. The law will phase out existing medical exceptions over the coming year. In this March 27, 2018 file photo, Stephen Clark stands on desk and shouts the name of his brother Stephen Clark, who was fatally shot by police a week earlier during a meeting of the Sacramento City Council in Sacramento, Calif. The shooting death of Stephen Clark helped spur the passage of two laws to take effect in 2020, giving California one of the nation's most comprehensive approaches to deterring shooting by policy. A Colorado red flag law will allow family, household members, or law enforcement to petition a court to have guns seized from people deemed a threat to themselves or others. A seizure can be extended to 364 days, and the burden of proof is on the gun owner to get firearms back. A Colorado red flag law allow family, household members, or law enforcement to petition a court to have guns seized from people deemed a threat to themselves or others. A seizure can be extended to 364 days, and the burden of proof is on the gun owner to get firearms back. The law was championed by Democratic Red Tom Savilion, whose son Alex Savin was killed in the 2012 Armor movie threatened shooting. Some Republican lawmakers and group Rocky Mountain gun owners have sued to try to block the law, and about 12 of the state's 64 counties have passed resolutions declaring themselves and amendment secretaries in response to it. Some sheriffs have said they won't enforce the court order. By contrast, a Tennessee law could allow people to more easily get permits to carry concealed guns. The law creates a less expensive permit option that doesn't require live fire training and instead allow people to take an online firearms training or safety course. By contrast, the Tennessee law could allow people to more easily get permits to carry concealed guns. The law creates a less expensive permit option that doesn't require live fire training and instead allows people to take an online firearms training or safety course. Immigration. Arkansas will become the latest state wade into the national immigration debate with a new law cutting off discretionary state funding for sanctuary cities that don't cooperate with federal immigration authorities. Other Republican-led states have enacted similar laws. By contrast, several Democratic-led states have adopted sanctuary laws restricting law enforcement officers from asking about people's immigration status or notifying federal authorities when an immigrant is about to be released from state custody. Arkansas will become the latest state to wade into the national immigration debate with a new law cutting off Intel at CES to spring laptops cooling news. Created public domain. What does Intel have up its sleeve for CES 2020? One of the surprise. See a bunch of recent articles. Might well be a thermal module solution for laptops. The new design could allow vendors to create fanless notebooks and can further shrink their thickness, said DigiTimes. What does Intel have up its sleeve for CES 2020? One of the surprises, say a bunch of recent articles, might well be a thermal module solution for laptops. The new design could allow vendors to create fanless notebooks and can further shrink their thickness, said DigiTimes. Sean Knight in Tech Spot said that several partners will feature the new design in products shown off at CES. Sean Knight in Tech Spot said that several partners will feature the new design in products shown off at CES. The loudest whispers over what Intel may spring at the upcoming CES 2020 involve an advanced cooling solution, and it would be enhancing power dissipation by 25 to 30% in laptops. Reports said the Intel idea leverage both vapor chamber design plus graphite. The loudest whispers over what Intel may spring at the upcoming CES 2020 involved an advanced cooling solution. And it would be enhancing power dissipation by 25 to 30% in laptops. Reports said the Intel idea leverages both vapor chamber design plus graphite. The big deal is that the module addresses the weight problem of a cooling system in place when the end goal is a thin and light laptop. It has not been easy for vendors wanting to boast lightweight laptops, but at the same time looking for more innovation cooling solutions. The big deal is that the module addresses the weight problem of a cooling system in place when the end goal is a thin and light laptop. It has not been easy for vendors wanting to boast lightweight laptops, but at the same time looking for more innovative cooling solutions. DigiTimes had the much quoted story about Intel, with reporting by Aaron Lee and Jasper Tsai. At the upcoming CES 2020, Intel is planning to announce the thermal module design that is able to enhance notebooks' heat dissipation by 25 to 30%. Who were the sources? The authors said the information was based on sources from the upstream supply chain. DigiTimes had a much quoted story about Intel, with reporting by Aram Lee and Joseph Tsai. At the upcoming CES 2020, Intel is planning to announce a thermal module design that is able to enhance notebooks' heat dissipation by 25 to 30%. Who were the sources? The authors said the information was based on sources from the upstream supply chain. The new thermal design would be a combination of chambers, vapor chambers and graphite sheets, said DigiTimes. What sets it apart from the Euro design? DigiTimes traditionally thermal modules are placed in the compartment between the keyboard exterior part and the bottom shell, as most key components that generate heat are located there. But Intel's design will replace the traditional thermal modules with a vapor chamber and attach it with a graphite sheet that is placed behind the screen area for stronger heat dissipation. What sets it apart from the Euro design? DigiTimes traditionally, thermal modules are placed in the compartment between the keyboard and the keyboard exterior part and the bottom shell, as most key components that generate heat are located there. But Intel's design will replace the traditional thermal module with a vapor chamber and attach it with a graphite sheet that is placed behind the screen area for stronger heat dissipation. Vapor chambers. DigiTimes said these have been an increased adoption in the past 2 years, largely linked to the requirement of gaming models needing stronger heat dissipation. Also, the article noted, compared to traditional heat pipe thermal module solution, vapor chamber can be crafted into irregular shapes, allowing a broader coverage on hardware. Vapor chambers. DigiTimes said these have seen an increased adoption in the past 2 years, largely linked to the requirement of gaming models needing stronger heat dissipation. Also, the article noted, compared to traditional heat pipe thermal module solution, vapor chambers can be crafted into irregular shapes, allowing a broader coverage on hardware. Nonetheless, DigiTimes spoke of one limitation at the moment. Intel thermal module design is module design is only suitable for notebooks that open at a maximum angle of 180 degrees and not models featuring 360-degree rotatable screen, as the graphite sheets will expose from the hung area and the hinge area and affect overall industrial design. The topic of hanging came up. It apparently needs further attention with this design. DigiTimes said it's being worked on. Some hinge makers pointed out that the issue is currently being fixed and will have a good chance to be resolved in the near future. Joe Haraska in Extreme Tech will be especially curious to learn more when CES rolls around as to just how Intel's approach will work out. He described his reason to be curious. I can absolutely believe that Intel has a new cooling module with a better vapor chamber design. The reference to fanless design could be a reference to the K-core cooler Bond has built. How that cooler would interact with laptop hinges, and why anyone would ever want to seriously try to run a cooling solution through a laptop hinge. I'm willing to be convinced, but I don't understand it at first glance, given that hinges are definitionally weak points of failure. The last thing I'd think any company would ever do is put part of the cooling solution in it. This will not be the first time witnessing attempts by vendor brands to showcase clever cooling approaches. Hans drilled down to marketplace activity beyond Intel over cooling technologies. Mike Tyson reported there have been a Sprague phone, 2 Agros 13 gaming laptops, and Aspers Pro Art Studybook One, which leveraged the vapor chamber cooling technology. Another product development that went big in the buzzword bingo was the Corridon C7G lower profile cooler with graphene coating. This cooling solution from Intel is said to be part of its Project Athena certification program, which Intel boasts is committed toward raising the bar on people's laptop experience, and they have set themselves on a mission to overcome engineering challenges. Pocket Linked in August had a good overview of what the project is all about. The article said Project Athena, at its purest form, is basically a set of standards that Intel wants for laptops. Intel said its engineers will work with companies like HP, Dell, and many more to create laptops that meets its standard. It will even test them before they can become Project Athena certified.